Say hello.
Hello.
Good morning.
Good morning.
And welcome to our day.
Good morning. Yay!
Right now, I am fuming. I've been under my orthopedic hip consultant for 5 years. No, it was 6 years now. And he's been doing everything he can to help me with my hips because I've got bilateral hip dysplasia, cam deformation, labral tears. There's so much going on. He's been trying to help with my weight. He's been trying to help with my spine, everything. And I'm due to have an injection in my hip for the pain. And for the last 6 months, his secretary has... First of all, she forgot to make the appointment. Then, when she did make the appointment, she rung me and cancelled. Then, when we rebooked, she rung up I think it was about a month before I was due to go in, asking whether I still wanted the appointment. And I said yeah. And then literally about a week after that, she rings me and cancels again. Says that I can have it booked for sometime in November. And then... sometime in October, sorry. And then I get an appointment come through that's in November. And I've just had to cancel because I got my POTS doctor tomorrow. And my heart hasn't been going good. So I figured that it's not safe for me to go into theatre tomorrow when I've got issues with my heart. And I've just rung up and just clarified to see whether they did actually cancel it. And she said yes. And the stupid woman has taken me off his list and sent it back to the GP saying I need to be re-referred. I'm so pissed. The one for tomorrow is the first time I've cancelled. The last 4 appointments she has cancelled, and I'm the one that's getting blamed for it and shafted and now being re-referred. I am seriously so pissed. He's done injections already, he's done 2 surgeries, and this is going to be more injections again now. And she's just taken me off his list. I'm literally fuming. Absolutely fuming. Good morning. We're on our way to the hospital for the appointment. And before we went, I, de-haired my jumper because it was very hairy. I was just sat in my wheelchair and Dixie jumped up for a hug. And now the hair is back.
Dun dun dun.
Not impressed. Also, I took my hair out of a plait this morning. Boom! How cool is this? It's so awesome. What? I have purple in my hair. We didn't put purple in my hair. I don't know, but it looks like the ocean. Can you see it? Wow. So we are now at the hospital. I'm about to go into my appointment with my POTS doctor. But I was just coming past, and I just want to say the irony of this. This is a smoke-free site, and she's literally leaning on the sign to smoke that cigarette. Is it not big enough? Is it not bright enough? Who knows? Current queue for the pharmacy. And there's probably a ton of people in there as well. So, huh?
Why didn't they shout at her? Was it more around
It was right next to A&E. This is the lady with the smoking. It wasn't round by main reception. But with all the stress that's been going on, we'll tell you why after we've eaten. I bought Sophie and I a Cornish pasty and a biscuit. A melted snowman biscuit. And I think this is marshmallow. How freaking cute! Yeah?
nothing?
Yeah. It's that time of the year.
It's the most wonderful time of the
Oh yeah. Someone's asleep and someone's giving Mummy a hug. How cute is this? She's so gorgeous. Good evening.
Howdy.
Do you want to move that bottle?
It's my bottle.
I don't care.
Is that better?
Yeah. Going to the hospital appointment was awful.
Really terrible.
All I heard, because I was asleep, all I heard was Soph screaming profanities because as she approached the bridge between us and Plymouth City, the bridge toll has gone up from £1.50 to £2. And we only took £1.50.
And I want to point out as well that we had so little money left that our £1.50 was majoritively 2p's.
Yeah. It went up today and we had heard nothing about it, no advertisement, no news stuff. I get news from our local area, so the whole of Devon and Cornwall, and there was nothing stating...
Until today. After.
Yeah, with Soph's mum. But yeah, there was nothing stating that it was going to increase. So we had to get a number to ring. So Soph rang that number whilst I was in my appointment. We had to pay a £1.50 surcharge.
No, it's a £1 surcharge.
You said £1.50 to me.
No, it's a £1 charge, but obviously because it's gone up to £2, it's an extra 50p. So we had to pay £3.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was just a little bit frustrating. And when Soph was on the phone with them, Soph said, "I bet you've had a lot of people ringing today," and they said, "Yeah." And I just think it's wrong that they didn't put it in the news or anything like that. So they would have made a huge amount of money, not just on the fact that the bridge toll has gone up from £1.50 to £2, which is a huge amount anyway.
Yeah.
Like most places bump things up like 10, 20p, but no, 50p. And then on top of that, because so many people don't carry all the change and you can't pay by card, you end up having to
pay the extra charge of £1 anyway on top.
So that was really crap.
Yeah.
And then on my way over to the appointment, I had two people refer to me as somebody else that we know, and it's getting quite frustrating.
It happens every time you go to a hospital, doesn't it? Whether
Yeah.
whether it's the
Here,
city one
Launceston,
or, yeah.
whatever, and it really angers me because I am nothing like this person, but I think they just see a woman in a wheelchair with a mask on and they constantly keep calling me it, and it's getting very frustrating.
It is.
For me to go from the car park to the room that I was, well, the area I was going off the hospital, which isn't a long stretch of pavement, and then to be called that person twice, it just kind of ticked me off to the max. And then finally get into my appointment. And one thing I love about my doctor is, I think I've seen him, this was my third time.
Is it? I thought you'd only seen him once.
No, once when I got diagnosed and started on the midodrine. Then the second time they increased the midodrine. That was this last time we went. It showed that I was on an appointment, but they didn't have all my stuff.
Yeah.
So that was frustrating. But yeah, like, he didn't even call my name out. He came out of his room and just walked straight over to me and was just like, "Hello, Charlotte, let's go in," and then was having a joke with one of his colleagues and whatever like that. And I just think that's really cool.
Yeah, that's nice that he came to get you, and it's like really friendly, and
yeah,
that puts you at ease to like straight off, doesn't it?
Yeah, he is really lovely. He apologised for not seeing me for so long, and they said it's fine, that he told me last time that he was semi-retiring, and that his wife would not allow him to come back for patients. He had to have that months for retirement off, and then only allowed to come back part-time. So he was impressed I remembered that. And he also turned and said that I'm actually quite lucky because I've actually not had to wait as long as some people, which was quite cool.
Yeah.
And he wanted to know all about everything that's like going on and whether the midodrine is actually working. And I said that initially it worked really well, and then for about the last 2 months probably, my pulse has been getting like really, really fast, and I'm getting the palpitations and all that jazz.
Like we showed you guys the other day.
Yeah. In regards to the palpitations, he actually explained it to me. He was like, "I'm not an artist, but I'll do my best." And basically, this is like your normal pulse, so obviously it's like whatever, normal. And then this one is an extra beat that comes in quite close to the one before. And because it's an extra beat and shouldn't be there, it opens up the chambers in your heart a lot more. So it fills up with blood, like your heart fills up with more blood than normal. And then the reason why you feel the thud on this one is because then your heart is trying to push out all that blood that this extra beat kind of let in, which I didn't actually know.
No, I didn't know.
He said most of the time it's normal, and like all part of the whole POTS thing and whatever else.
Yeah.
But because my pulse has been going really, really fast, and I said that Sophie's been seeing it in my neck just pounding away, and obviously we showed you on Thursday when I had my mask when we were out at Cadbury Garden Centre, and you could see my mask go in. He's sort of said that it could be the POTS, or it could be an arrhythmia sort of thing with my heart. So he's ordered a 24-hour heart monitor, ECG, because he asked how often it happens, and I said that every day I will have a very fast pulse at some point. Sometimes it lasts longer than others, but regardless, I'll always have it. So yeah, he's organised me to have that. And when we were with him last time, he discussed about a second medication if I found that the midodrine wasn't working on its own. And despite obviously getting letters, when things wasn't going brilliantly, I mentioned it to the doctors. But because of this whole not enough doctors, all these locums, they couldn't find the letter from him, and they weren't willing to have like start this medication. And he actually he had it printed off at the last consultation of things. He does it every time he prints it off so we can recap. And he showed me, it literally says in there the drug that he said, how long, like what dose, and how many times. So he wasn't impressed.
No. Well, no, it's them not following treatment plans.
Yeah. Which the reason why he did this treatment plan was because of him going into semi-retirement, and he wasn't going to be there for a long period of time. He had a plan set in place to cover me for that time, and the GP has failed me by not following that plan. Surprise, surprise. He wanted to know how the anti-sickness patches were getting on, and I said that it's reduced my sickness like massively.
The only time you ever really get your sickness now is
migraines,
really
but when they're severe. I used to get sickness every time I'd have a migraine, but now it varies. Sometimes I don't get it, and I can increase my fluid intake on some days when it's not too bad. So he's cool with that, because obviously it's not normal POTS medication, but he's trying to think of like alternate therapies that are known to have like different helps. Like all the 3 medications that I take for my POTS, none of them are actual licensed for POTS. They're licensed for something else, but they've been shown to help and improve POTS in some way. And then the other medication that he started me on, which I'm really confused about. When he said it in clinic, I was thinking to myself, I'm sure that's a cold and flu medication, but it's wrote differently. It's pseudohyd something hydrochloride, so it didn't twig properly. But basically what he's put me on is Sudafed, and apparently it will help with the dizziness and when my head's spinning out and all that sort of stuff, because it'll open up the blood vessels that have constricted in my head.
That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, so although it's not actual to like gonna stop with my heart rate, it's gonna hopefully help with nearly passing out and losing my vision and whatever else, which
It's really cool.
I would never have thought.
No. It makes sense.
Yeah. But obviously, and then with the fast heart rate and whatnot, we just need to make sure that it's not a different form of arrhythmia problem. And if it is just my POTS, I'm not entirely sure what it is that the plan will be. He didn't want to go too far into it. He wanted to know about the results, what they'd be first, which is fair enough. There's no point in saying things if we don't really know if it's going to go which way. So yeah, that's pretty much the appointment. Oh, he did want to know what sort of goals that I wanted to get from this. He wanted to know, because he didn't know previously, but he wanted to know whether this was one of the things preventing me from walking, and I said that it was the muscular dystrophy and like the EDS and my hips dislocating from the bilateral hip dysplasia. And he said even without the muscular dystrophy, he's known people with bilateral hip dysplasia that are stuck in a wheelchair because their hips don't function right, which was quite comforting to be told.
100%. Especially from somebody who's not in that department.
Yeah, it's really good.
And I just said that I wanted to be able to just sit still and not feel like I'm going to pass out. And I want to be able to do like craft stuff without getting dizzy or ending up getting really tired and having to go back to sleep. So it was nice that you wanted to know what goals I had in mind and what I wanted to achieve from sorting out my
I
pots.
think that's a really important question.
Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds
So,
like
yeah.
a good appointment.
He is absolutely lovely.
Yeah.
But that's kind of it. He's also on the register for, if you go onto the POTS website, his name's one of the very few doctors that are in the UK that specialises in POTS. So I'm quite lucky to be with him.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. And that biscuit that I bought us, oh my god.
It's so good.
It tasted amazing.
It's beautiful.
I nearly wasn't able to buy it because when I went into the restaurant to get us some food, the person at the till, she was so busy talking to her colleagues and laughing and joking that one of her colleagues then put a tea next to me, like a cup of tea just to the left of me, and I turned and said, well, who's the tea for? And she was like, didn't you order it? I was like, no. And the cup of tea cost £1.70, people. It's a tea bag, a hot water, and a dash of milk. £1.70.
It's a lot for a cup of tea.
I'm shocked. I could buy a bag of 50 for £1.70. It's absolutely ridiculous. And I said to Sophie, it's a good job that I was paying attention because I could have just like gone away and left the tea thinking, well, it ain't for me, so why am I going to take it? But obviously I did notice it, and she was able to take the £1.70 off. And then I asked for a receipt. She turned around and started talking to her colleagues and laughing again. And I don't remember what I told her said, but it had swearing in it. And basically I was pissed off saying, well, whatever with the receipt. Rolled my eyes.
Did you say something like really effing helpful or something like that?
Something like that. And the woman who put the tea, or man who put the tea there, she was like, was there something else you wanted? It's like, well, I did just ask for a receipt, but she's turned her back on me. So she printed off the receipt. But yeah.
But obviously, as you just heard, we have no idea if that was a man or a woman because it started off as a woman and then it went to a man who put the tea there, but then it turned out to she. So we don't know.
I have no idea. All I know is that they had some really, really shit arm tattoos.
Oh, babe.
They were so bad. It was like black wiggly lines going all the way up and something like sticking out of it. I don't know if it was supposed to resemble rose thorns but without the roses, or just brambles or something, but it was big, thick, heavy lines and things sticking out of it, and I would...
Yeah, that doesn't sound the most attractive.
No. But anyway, that's been our day. And we are both knackered.
Yeah.
We both fell asleep when we got home.
Yeah.
And yeah.
Yeah.
Ta-da! So, fingers crossed, these new meds will help with the pots.
Hopefully.
That would be good.
Yeah.
But other than that, thanks for coming to save us. And we'll see you tomorrow. Good night. So, whoa. We've just come up to bed and Soph comes up and she's like, where's Alba? She's like, I don't know, she thought she was with you. So we're calling her and whatever else. She's not responding. Somebody's opened our gate and it was locked, and it's a bolt lock.
Yeah.
So someone's fiddled with our gate. When we went away, I said to Soph, lock the gate from the inside and then go through the house and come out, because Gizmo was here on his own. And obviously I was worried. And when we got back,
the gate looked like it had been rammed, and the latch had been moved. Didn't do nothing from it. We just thought, okay, somebody must have tried getting in, but it didn't work. And then, you okay? Yeah.
Probably fine. She's probably just like,
Yeah.
oh, having a whale of a time.
Yeah.
I, however, have not calmed down yet, and I'm on like borderline crying.
So yeah, and then obviously Sophie shut the door. Everyone was coming up to bed. Pickle was up with me, and Sophie goes out because obviously when we opened the door, we was calling her. She wasn't coming back in, and we were like, okay, she might be stuck in the grass. And
She was on the grass.
she was on. She was running around out there. She could have been hit by a car, anything. And it's all because somebody has decided to open up our gate. So we're gonna have to.
I mean, even if they just like were shaking the gate or like kicking it or something, it would have wiggled it undone because
Yeah.
it's so not like
because
not
it
secure.
and because it got broke when we were away. So yeah, we're gonna have to potentially look at a second or third lock to try and secure the gate. I mean, so you hear so many stories of dogs being taken, and the fact that somebody's now opened up our gate is just awful and really not what we want.
I was just so scared. I was so scared. I think it was just hitting me, like, how scared I was. I ran out, like, I literally ran out and I tried to pull the gate to shut so the pickle didn't go. And she was just, like, waiting there and she was fine. And I called her a couple of times and it took her a minute or two before she came. But, like, it was only, like, the second time I called her name or something that she turned up, but it felt like so much longer.
Yeah. I mean, we have a little story about another little girl that something happened. We'll save that for another time though. But yeah, I'm about to now put a post up just to warn everybody that somebody's tried getting into our place and has let Alba out. It's really sad.
Yeah, I'm scared.
Now let's get on with the rest of the night.